Story time on how racism is systematic. I'm pregnant. I'm a black woman. I go into labor with my baby. They tell me what's going to happen. Baby comes, baby's premature. I breastfeed my children. Shocking, right? Because apparently black women don't do that. But here's what I will tell you. This is where the systematic racism comes into play. Not being called the N-word, but literal systematic racism. They come in and tell me, we cannot give your daughter your breast milk because we found drugs in your system. I say, well, that's impossible because I don't do drugs. They say it was marijuana. I say that is also impossible because I don't smoke marijuana. They say, well, we found it in your milk and we cannot give her your milk. We're going to give her this formula. We need you to sign a paper for this formula we're going to give her. I say, fresh out of surgery, might I add, C-section, having these conversations. Daughter is 1 pound. I'm stressed out. They're telling me I'm a drug addict. Don't do drugs. So they then come in, a bunch of white women come in and say, well, do you eat lemon poppy seed? No, I don't. Actually, I'm actually vegan and I don't do any drugs. They then say, well, maybe your neighbors gave you some brownies. Maybe your neighbors made some brownies and it had weed in it and you didn't know. I say, I live in a community of people who don't make weed brownies. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, over 2,000 square feet, 2-car garage. I don't smoke marijuana or eat marijuana brownies. They say, well, we found it in there. I said it couldn't be mine. So now I am fresh out of surgery from being cut open on my stomach, being told by all of these white women that I live in a community that makes brownies and drugs me, right? Like I'm being drugged by my neighbors unknowingly, and I'm also doing drugs while pregnant. This is all being told to me fresh out of being cut open with a child that's 1 pound. Don't know if she's going to survive. No medical care or attention. It took for the hospital, the president of the hospital, to be called demanding to retest my milk or there's going to be a lawsuit. I am post-surgery, guys. Not even 2 hours, let alone 12. Okay? I'm post-surgery and I have to advocate for my child, my black daughter, to drink her black mother's breast milk because I'm being gaslit this whole time so that and here's the kicker. What actually happened is they wanted to test a formula out on my daughter. And if you don't know this, trials and tests and studies are done a lot on black babies because unknowingly they think that black people are uneducated and they get you in a state where you are in survival mode and you don't take a second to pause and think and make an informed decision. So they thought the likelihood of me being a black woman and smoking weed while pregnant was high based on statistics. Well, guess what? They tested my milk and the demand was you need to retest the same milk. You need to retest it. And guess what? There was no marijuana. And my daughter got to drink breast milk. I'm saying all that to say, when we think about systematic oppression, we do not understand how deep it runs. We do not understand that there is a literal attack on a black woman, especially when she's in medical care. So I don't want to hear all of this talking. And this is why I'm very loud when I say lower your tone. I'm not talking about you denying me or calling me the N-word. I'm saying that you are actively sit in a system that works against my people. And I'm not going to shut up about it because I know what it means to be systematically oppressed, experience systematic racism. Less than 2 hours after being cut open and having a baby that's 1 pound. I know that. And I have stories like that for days. So all of this yapping about it was old, slavery was this. Slavery is not the only issue that black Americans went through in this country. Okay? We know the date slavery started and the day it ended. And it hasn't stopped white people from being systematically oppressive towards my people. So I don't want to hear it. Okay? Lower your tone. I'm always going to be nervous when Caucasians are afoot. That's just me. I have a podcast, so if you like that story, make sure you go click the link in my bio and check it out. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to me too. Spotify, Apple, Google, Danielle to you, everywhere you could think of, okay?
First of all, I want to commend this lady. Gosh, black women are strong women. I tell you, black women are strong women. Like, this is really, really pathetic. This is really, really pathetic. Like, this is the height of discrimination. What? A woman who had just given birth to a baby through a cesarean section, who is also thinking about the life of her baby. This baby was born prematurely, weighed 1 pound. Such a woman is having to go through this. Like, why test a formula on my baby without my consent? That's the height of witchcraft. I'm sure there are so many people who will probably consent to that without having to be lied to. Come on now. I'm just speechless. Anyways, guys, I need you guys to watch the second clip I have for you. Just hold on. I'll be right back.
Here's what was scary to me about this. I'm going to use this as a part 2. I had sons before, but this was my first time having a daughter. The way they treated me while I was pregnant with a little black girl was like I can't explain it. But my daughter was born at 1 pound. I had to advocate for myself because they said there was drugs inside of my milk and they wanted to test this formula on my baby. They retested the milk. There was no drugs, obviously. Moving past that. Same hospital said to me that my daughter was going to be blind. They said she was born at 1 pound. She's going to be blind. I said, okay, so, you know, what are we going to do? Like, what's the plan? They said, oh, there's these shots, these steroids that you take and you put them in the baby's eye and you go to the back of the baby's eye and you shoot steroids in her eye. And I said, no. And they were like, well, your baby's going to be blind. And I said, if my baby is blind, do you have a cure for blindness? No. So you would like me to allow you, again, we have to remember, my daughter was born at 1 pound. You would like me to allow you to test a trial of steroids on my baby's eye, who was fucking born at 1 pound, to see if it works? Well, let me see the data. What has this worked? Has this ever worked? No. Well, we're not doing it. If my daughter's going to be blind, we're going to have to figure that out. You cannot test your steroids on my baby's eyes. Here's the even crazier part. And to advocate for that, you know what they told me? We're going to have to take you to court. I said, I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. Okay. All right, what day? Oh, we're going to send CPS to your house. More than happy to. What day? The tactics that they used to try to scare me to be able to do a trial on my daughter's eyes because I said no was insane. But it took for me being like, okay. Now imagine if I was a single mom at the time, if I was scared, if I lacked resources, if I didn't know how to advocate for myself, what would have happened? Because there was also side effects for this medicine as well. So what I'm saying is, learning true advocacy is to understand what systematic oppression is. Learning true advocacy and being a black woman with a black daughter in a hospital where white women are trying to interrogate you and accuse you of being a bad person, a drug addict, and say that you're a bad mother, so much so that they want to take you to court to take away a child. Mind you, we're still not realizing that I just had surgery, okay? I just had this cut open and this baby taken out, and this is what I'm dealing with. No understanding, no compassion, no empathy, nothing. Just, we want this baby and her eyes. You're not going to get him. And I'm willing to go to court and I'm willing to go to CPS, and just like I was willing to have you test my breast milk. I don't play like that. And to say all of this, guess who has 20/20 vision? The daughter that they said was going to be blind. I wear glasses. My daughter that they said was going to be blind and needed to have steroids shot into her eye to test this trial on is 20/20 in her eyes. So I don't want to hear all of this, oh, everybody. No, I know what systematic oppression is. I know what it means to be treated that way because I'm a black woman and presumed to be ignorant, a drug addict, and a bad mother. No, baby, I'm sorry, this Negro reads. The answer is no. Yes, we can go to court. Yes, we can go to CPS. What's up? So, lower your tone, like I always say.
Wow. This part of the video got to me, the part where they said that the baby was going to be blind. You want to test steroid on a baby born prematurely at 1 pound. You want to test you want to test it on a baby to know if it works. Now, my question is, what's the success rate? You haven't tested it. You want to use my baby as a guinea pig. You're not even testing it on healthy babies, like on a baby that was born prematurely, that weighed 1 pound. Wow. Imagine going through this few hours after giving birth. Like at that point, the only thing you're thinking about is how to recover, how to get your body back. You're thinking, is my baby safe? Is my, a baby that was born prematurely? All you want to do is get well. See your baby healthy. Nurse your baby to your breast. You just want to be sure your baby is fine. And you have all of this coming at you at the same time. Sincerely speaking, this is the height of what's the word? This is the height of insensitivity. Insensitivity, that's the word. And guess what? That same baby they lied about has a perfect eyesight right now. Without, giving her the steroid, without anything. She has a perfect 20/20 eyesight. I'm just wondering. Thank God for the mother's strong will. Thank God, because imagine she had let them give the baby the whatever they wanted to give to the baby. I don't even want to imagine it anyways, sincerely. No, but this is so sad. What has the black community done to you guys? What? Why use them as a guinea pig? What exactly is the problem? Anyways, I want to give credit to It's Danielle to you. That's her handle. That's her TikTok handle. ITSDANIELL number 2 and U. That's her. It's her video I used, for this commentary. I want to give credit to her. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming with me on my channel today. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to my channel, like and share. Thank you so much, guys. Excuse me. I just belched. Until next time, have an amazing day. Cheers. Bye, guys.